Hello, bitches. Welcome to this week's episode.
Don't look at me when you say hello, bitches. Look into the bitches.
Hello, bitch. Welcome to a Filmmakers Brain episode number 12.
I think.
Maybe
I'm pretty
13.
sure.
Maybe 13.
Yeah.
Could be 10. Kidding.
No, 12. 13.
Welcome to episode 12, and today we're talking about... Why am I looking into the camera?
You're telling me what we're talking about this week?
Today we're talking about the American thriller, drama, mystery movie Vanilla Sky from 2001.
Wow.
Were you surprised when I put this on the table?
No, because I didn't see it before you told me. So, but actually when I saw it, I didn't know anything. I didn't know the genres, anything about this movie. I just saw I saw Tom Cruise and I was like, okay, so this is probably like a romantic movie, kind of,
Yeah, it is.
A teen drama or whatever,
Uh-huh.
something like that. But I was like swept away completely. Yeah.
I figured you'd be. This was one of my tricks.
Yeah, but so did you see this before?
I did, but 12 years ago.
Okay.
Today was the first time me rewatching this in like 12 years.
Because you were like, yeah, so we'll put forward this movie to review, and then, I just need to see it real quick today. I was like, wait, haven't you seen it already? But yeah.
Wait, what?
I thought that you hadn't seen it before.
Ah, okay.
And I was like, why did you put it forward? Well,
yeah.
You can do that. That's not a problem,
but it would be weird. No.
It would be weird.
It would be weird.
I was like, this is not a Bella, it is a Bella movie.
It is a Bella movie. So basically, it's about our main character,
Tom Cruise.
David, played by Tom Cruise.
David.
And he's this hotshot millionaire son who's very spoiled and living off his father's money in his big company where the board is not very happy about him ruling the company.
Seven Dwarfs.
Yeah, he's calling the board the Seven Dwarfs. And he has this fuck buddy, basically, who's very interested in becoming his girlfriend, and he's not very interested in him or in her becoming his girlfriend. And then suddenly at a party, he meets this other girl, and things start to
Sparkle,
like in the Notebook, love. And suddenly things are also escalating because this other woman appears to be a fucking psychopath. And from there on, his life is going slowly down the shithole. To make it very clear.
Yeah, so one thing, clear is this movie is, changing. It's one of those movies that the main guy doesn't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
We don't know what the fuck is going on.
No.
Which is I like those type of movies.
Me
like
too.
The Prestige, fucking Memento,
Shutter Island.
I love those kind of movies. But what this movie does that I found super interesting, and I think all of those movies that we talked about also do, but I didn't realize it, was that when they are not going through with the actual, the real goal or conflict of the main guy, you have another type of conflict.
Yeah, but you're in a cinnamon bun in this movie.
I am what?
You're in a cinnamon bun because you will be in the first layer and you think that, I'm finally finding this out, and then comes the next layer and then comes the next layer and you're in the middle of the cinnamon bun. I guess.
I was so confused by that. But you're in a semen bun.
No,
what are you talking
not a semen bun, a cinnamon bun.
Out of nowhere.
Okay, so let's figure. If you were in a croissant.
Croissant. Okay, let's get real.
That's my French mustache, not my Hitler mustache. But just from putting that out there.
Croissant.
I'm so tired today.
Okay, so let's get diggy with it. So I found that really interesting, and I know that it seems obvious that it does, but I think that's really important if you wanna like write a script that that is like a fucked up movie like this.
Yeah.
You need to think about
They're
that.
called puzzle films.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, The Game.
Yes.
Is also. Have you seen it?
No.
Okay, it's a really good movie.
Yes. No.
No. The Game. Oh my god, I love that movie. I think David Fincher directed it as well. Great movie. I also from like early 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
puzzle films were very they were actually very upgoing in the beginning of the 2000s, because suddenly people were tired of the old cop movies and they started doing more fucked up psychopath shit, basically. So and just the way you're talking about as well, that the main character doesn't know what's happening, you don't know what's happening, but the movie is telling you things, trying to make you puzzle the pieces together.
And that's like a super interesting way of writing a film. Like it was like a new thing, you know. They found a new formula of doing something like super entertaining.
Yes.
And this movie is like really good at it, because even like leave everything that happens, you know, after the first 1 hour, where the only like conflicts or whatever is going on is about
the triangle drama, basically.
That triangle drama.
Yeah.
That triangle drama was fucking awesome. I liked it.
Yeah.
It was really entertaining.
And it's not even like actually a triangle drama, it's a V drama, because he's the one being shoved in two different directions. They doesn't actually have a lot to do with each other, the girls.
Yeah, and then his best friend is like, I don't know, he's like the dot in the end of the sentence where that V is, you know?
Yeah.
It's like super outside of it, but it's really interesting, and I think like if I watch it again, I will find like more details. You will. And more details.
And the funny thing is, like, it's like I said, I watched this many years ago, and the reason is like the title has actually stuck to me. Like I've seen this in different places. I've heard it. Like whenever someone's been talking about the movie, I've been like, yeah, that's movie with Tom Cruise, but I wouldn't remember everything about it. So, like when you asked me, and I like blacked out yesterday and said like, what movie are we doing tomorrow? And I was like, yeah, you know, I don't know, man. Went into my list on Netflix, and suddenly for some reason Vanilla Sky shows up, and it's like, yeah, what the hell? Throw it in there.
All right.
So
good to know. But it was a good choice.
Yeah.
Good choice, because I think we're gonna like suck this movie off for like 20 minutes more, and then at the last
we're going to suck this movie off.
Yeah, we're gonna be like, oh yeah, give me more. It's so good, you know. And then at the end we might have like, let's remember this and get back to the, you know, what's bad about this movie.
Sure.
Or what could have been better. Because I think we might get lost in all the good that's done.
Okay, so I want to mention one thing pretty quickly, because like I told this movie off as a drama thriller sort of adventure kind of movie in some sort of way. But also, like you would say, the first part is about the triangle drama and is very well made, like you don't get bored by it. And then the second part suddenly turns sci-fi. Yeah. And you're not in for that at all. Like you're not expecting that, because basically the psychopath fuck buddy gets very jealous when he starts dating the other girl. She drives him off a bridge, and his face gets like really disfigured. And so you see that he gets this surgery where they fix his face, or they say they fix his face, and he's got to wear a mask, and it's very weird looking. And at the same time, other things are starting to get weird, and you can't put your finger on what's weird, but suddenly everything is different.
Yeah, you don't know what to believe.
No.
Is he crazy, or what the fuck is going on?
And suddenly he's imprisoned, or like he's awaiting trial for murder, and they can't say that, like they say that it's for the woman he fell in love with, but whenever they show pictures of her, it's the fuck buddy girl.
Yeah.
So everything is very
God, it's
disoriented. And
crazy.
you sit there and you're like, but hey, that's not the girl, and that's not the person, and this is not what happened, and we didn't see that. And you have so many questions. And suddenly he tells his lawyer something, and they rush to this company where it's all about to be explained. Because the sci-fi part of this movie is about basically the afterlife, which we don't know much about, and especially didn't do in the 2000s, where they basically put up this reality where you can 1 hour after your death be frozen down, and then they can wake you up in some sort of other reality, in some sort of lucid dreaming, basically.
Yeah, or like while you're frozen in before you choose to wake up again in like 200 years or whatever.
Yeah.
You can have like this lucid dream where you instead
keep
of
on
just
living keep on living the best version of your life, like what you had before you were alive, and that's what's been happening. So suddenly our main character doesn't even know what's real either.
I just want to mention like a few movies that I think, I don't know when they came out or where they are on the time scale, like real life time scale, because I think actually those movies I'm gonna talk about is like took a lot of inspiration from this film. I'm talking about The Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind,
one of my favorites.
Wow. And then The Matrix. Those two movies I think is like really connected to this film, and this film is like really talking about the something that I really find interesting, and I know I want to work with is like the ego of man, and how people like, I'm getting like, people surround their entire life around their self
image, basically.
Self-image, and you see it like torn down. And I like Tom Cruise, Jesus Christ, great actor in this movie. He's really showing this. Like you like you see how much it tore him to not have his face, and that his whole personality went away.
His looks.
And that's also like a piece that really sells the whole idea of this being a dream. When it becomes good. Because if he was less, annoyed or unhappy with the whole thing about the face, and he tried to have a normal life, well, he wouldn't.
No.
This wouldn't be like you were
an
like,
issue. It wouldn't be the big thing.
This was a dream, It would be weird, but you see how
is this better than it was before, basically.
Exactly. And I really loved it. Again, there's like small things that we're gonna talk about later, but I think like Jesus, really deep movie, and super entertaining,
very, and very actually like surprising from when I watched it last, even though it was many years ago. Like there were many things that I didn't remember that suddenly showed up, and what they do very well in this movie, even though you don't see all of the characters all the time, is that they really give them depth. Like all of the characters really have a character
they came
arc,
to life.
Basically. They're very alive, and that drives the movie forward very well.
And I don't know about you, but I teared up in some scenes, because I found like I actually found like the love scenes, where everything is like super good, and you feel for the love of the characters. You actually like sympathize as fuck, and you're like, Jesus, they really show love in a great way. So I like
what I love about that
it
is
took
also
me from that, to fear to everything.
Well, the thing is, what I also love about that is that an aesthetic thing they did in the movie was basically that when they tell him about the lucid dreaming thing, like because in his unconsciousness he meets with the CEO of the like dream company or afterlife company or whatever, and they tell him how many of the memories in his dream, which isn't real then, was based on things that he saw in his life. So basically, like the pictures of his love life was from an album cover that he had liked. So you see this album cover with a guy holding a girl on their shoulders, and then you see him having the girl on his shoulders. And then they say, well, your dad that's suddenly alive, who wasn't alive when you were alive, like you got him from a movie where you saw a guy and how he was supposed to be, and suddenly you have a dad who is acting as he's supposed to do. Like, also, I love the part where basically, like, if you could choose how your life would look like, you would take that from things that you see. Like from movies, like from album covers, like from whatever else that you would dream of.
It's almost like they boil down, what life is all about, you know, in this, like, beautiful way.
And especially because he used to be like this hotshot millionaire person who didn't need anyone or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
And suddenly everything changes when his face is disfigured.
Yeah, but it's also like, I don't know, I think these type of movies leave you in a place where you don't know what actually happened.
Yeah. You still sit there afterwards and like, I know you showed me, but I still don't know.
No, I'm like, with this movie, I'm pretty sure I know what happened, right?
Yeah.
Because they show you. But that's what I'm talking about, like the difference between that.
Yeah, but I can still go back and forth. I can still go back and
do?
forth and like ask myself how he would end up there or how this would like.
Because it has a super clear.
Because it's sort of like at the same time as it's not, it's a cliffhanger ending.
Yeah.
Like it's both ways. Like, does he wake up? Does he wake up 200 years from now? Does he wake up like 2 days after this happened? Like, for how long did this dream go on?
Yeah, okay.
Stuff like that.
Because I'm talking about more like how Inception does it. It's the thing, and you're like, okay, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Sometimes those type of like the puzzle movies, they just leave you hanging, like they take you like here and there and whatever, and then they just leave you nowhere.
Yeah.
And that's like one of the things that I felt like was a bit too much, but it's like a really minor thing.
Yeah.
When he jumped, when he was up there like on the roof, and
in the end,
yeah, I think that scene was a bit too long.
Yes.
And I would like boil it down, and I would like make it more poetic.
Yeah.
Because it is in a way it is, but like his friend being there, and like and then his love comes there as well. I guess that's a great ending, but I would make it like more like maybe cut to a fantasized scene while he's like going down.
Yeah.
And
where
he says those things to her.
Yeah.
Not her appearing there, because they've shown that he can, change things with his mind.
Yeah.
You have already shown that. You don't need to show it again, because then you're just taking it to too much sci-fi.
Another thing I love though is that in the ending, when he's about to force himself to wake up, so he's going to throw himself off a building, basically. His father that he basically created in his dream starts fighting for himself. And I think that's super funny, because basically you have the whole what I'm joking about all the time as a scriptwriter and as a person writing stories. I always tell people that my characters have their own life, they have their own will, and that there are so many times where I think a story is heading somewhere and suddenly it starts going the other way, and they ask me why, and I say, well, my characters do whatever they want because they're rebellious bitches. No, but like
I don't have control over them.
No, and I mean, and the CEO of the company has to tell him, like, you can't listen to your father right now because he's programmed to fight for his appearance. He's programmed to fight for his will.
Yeah.
But he's not real.
No.
Because he's a character. And I think that's so cool. It's such a funny little detail, and they do it so well without like overshowing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I thought that was good, but I also thought that his like, going towards it, and just it ended kind of weird.
Yeah.
Because he started, talking about it. Well, I'm real. I have 2 daughters. what's their name.
Yeah,
you know,
that
he couldn't have it that programmed, you know.
No, but I think that it's the part where you see a father that you want, and yeah, he has 2 daughters. Why would you care? Why would you care what their name is if you are not going to have a relationship with them? So I think that's the way our mind works as well. That if we come up with characters and we only give them so much, that we can't have them having an entire backstory because we were supposed to give it to them. So I don't think it's about him being programmed that way. I think it's about the main character, David, not giving him more than being a good father to him.
You know, this movie actually like supports a theory, you know, about of all this being just what is it called, simulation.
Yeah.
And it's a bit scary because if all this is a simulation, then crazy people will just a bug, you know.
Yeah.
What he went through, that's crazy people in this world.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a bit scary because like I've thought about stuff like going towards that theory, and you don't know, you know, life is just, you know, whatever happens, you know. I can go into this if you want, like shortly, because I think this movie talks about that in a real way. I feel like a lot of what we do in life is trying not to be in control, you know, of our, like, not to be super conscious, not trying to take control over whatever I say, whatever I do, right? That's meditating, you know. Basically, I even think praying is like a type of meditation. That people just, you know, they find peace or whatever, and they find God, but it's just that they meditated for 20 minutes or whatever. And if that is so, that in life you're trying to be less in control and more in the moment, then it's more of an entertainment that you're going through. You're just like experiencing whatever this life is doing, you know. And that's a bit scary because that's like towards all this about the simulation of it being a simulation, because then I'm not supposed to be in control. I'm just supposed to experience it. I actually think that's a very good ending line to it, because that it sets sort of a like, it sets the theme for the movie in some sort of way. And I think like also for being this type of like kind of experimental movie for its time, I think it's super well made. And I think that also like even the effects and the lighting in the lucid dreaming visions and everything, it's kind of cool. So and the retaking of the scenes with other actors, just changing the actors,
exchanging people in the different scenarios when they tell him that actually didn't happen the way you saw it, because that was a dream, this was reality. It's super well made and it's very, very cool.
So Bella, what is happiness to you?
What? Happiness? Why are we going here?
That's like a famous line. Because happiness to me is being with you, David.
I think happiness to me would be like pretty classical. Being healthy, having people I love around me being healthy, and being able to do what I love.
That's a great thing to say. I think that's important.
You got super emotional now.
Yeah, man. You mean? No, but it's really important to do
what you love.
What you love.
That's also a part of you keeping yourself healthy.
I was listening to Logic. He just dropped like a new album. He's like one of my favorite rappers. And like in one of the songs, he says, well, it's a voice saying, you know, there's a big difference between just staying alive and living life. That's fucking true, man.
That's very true.
Go after your goals, and whatever you dream of doing, just do whatever the fuck you want to do.
So we'll keep on making the podcast, you mean?
Sure, why
sure,
not?
next
Why
week,
not?
war, sure. So what are we watching next week?
Next week, I have no idea.
You're doing this again.
Well, I don't know. We haven't talked about it. We can discuss it later. Do you know what you're gonna talk about the week after that?
Sure.
You do?
Sure.
You actually do?
Not a shit.
But we can close it here. Do you have like any critique or something that you would change about the movie?
I would probably, like with the square that we talked about last week,
Mm.
I would actually make it shorter. I don't think, like, not much shorter because this movie needs its space,
Yeah.
but it's almost 2 hours and 20 minutes, and I figured that it would need to be cut in some sort of ways. It doesn't need as much of everything.
I thought it was pretty good length.
You always do.
It's a good.
It's a guy thing.
It's a good. Yes, I love long, thick, girthy movies. Starker. Yes, more girth. Yes, the extended director's cut of Once Upon a Time in America. Yes.
Guys, thank you for watching. Press subscribe, press like, and we'll see you next week. Thank you very much. Bye. Bye.